Hello, I'm Jim Frazer, Vice President of Smart Cities and Infrastructure here at ARC Advisory Group. Today we're broadcasting from the ARC Annual Forum in Orlando, Florida, where I'm very happy to be joined by Alan Ray, Chairman of the Ignition Cross Industry Collective. Alan, can you tell us a little bit about the collective?
Yeah, we started the collective 2 years ago, and it's really a opportunity for different industries to create a community where we're going to be able to share not just ideas, but also tools and techniques on how to get the most out of Inductive Automation's software called Ignition.
That's great. We're here at the ARC Annual Forum. What do you like about this conference?
I didn't know much about ARC Advisory Conference until last year, and came for the first time last year, and it was very productive for me and for my company. We had made connections with other, personally I'm an operational technology architect, and so being able to meet other architects and other leaders in the IoT space and the cyberspace was very, I made connections that I didn't think I would be able to make as easily without the conference being really the catalyst to do that.
Well, let's drill down into that a little bit more. What did you take away value from last year's conference and deploy it in your operations?
Yeah, so interesting enough, we had just happened to have a random conversation at the dinner table with another guy who was at the conference, and the guy said, "Hey, you should really go talk to this other guy." Went and talked to him, hit it off. They have a software that I knew nothing about that we were looking for to solve an issue within our company. Made the connection. The next month, after coming back from ARC, contacted the company. They flew out to California. We talked about some different opportunities that we could partner together, and we were really looking for an opportunity to really put the test MQTT, Sparkplug B, and they already had it implemented in their software, but it wasn't fit for purpose for Aera, and so we teamed up with them and we did a 7-month pilot with them, and it ended up being very successful. So much so that we've purchased the software and we were going to be implementing that across all our entire company in 2020. So that would have never taken place had I not come to ARC last year, and it's going to save our company a tremendous amount of money. It solves a lot of our problems that we've been having and struggling with, and really gave us an opportunity not just to implement MQTT, but to bring into play Cyrus Link, which is Arlen Nipper, and he came into that pilot and was able to really work between what our requirements were and what the company that we were dealing with, what they had to offer, to make it really come into something that was fit for our company. So it was an outstanding, really, partnership, not just a vendor that says, "Hey, I've got something I'm going to sell you," but it was hey, we want to help you, because knowing that if we help you, then it's going to help our company. So let's partner together to get this done. And it was really one of those opportunities that I don't just have a vendor now. I have some people that I call friends, and a network of really the opportunity to, what could we do? So it was.
That actually is, one of the foundational goals of this conference is networking and sharing. And we have, as you know, the end user based Digital Transformation Council that focuses on facilitating those exact type of relationships. I believe the Ignition Cross Industry Collective has a meeting Thursday afternoon.
Yeah,
can you tell us a little bit about that?
ARC has partnered with our board, and so what ARC has done is they have been very interested in a couple different things. They were very interested in if we could have more end users, one, get excited about the ARC conference, and we are an end user collective. And so having the ability to have those end users and then be able to not just give us the facilities so we have a place to come and meet, because we meet on the West Coast and we meet over here on the East Coast. And so it gave us an opportunity to meet on the East Coast. ARC has partnered with us, not just so that they allow us to use the facilities. The conference ends Thursday at lunchtime, and our meeting goes Thursday from 1 to 5. And so if you're our meeting is free, but if you're willing to go to our meeting and the conference, the ARC has agreed to give a 50% discount to any of the attendees of the collective for the conference. And then a lot of their actual end users at the conference have turned into speakers. So it's been a very healthy partnership. This is only our second year, but we've seen a lot of connections there.
That's great. Can you tell us a little bit more about the collective itself? How many members do you have? If I'm someone in the domain that's interested in participating, who do they reach out to?
So we're the collective is all around the platform Ignition, which is an inductive automation HMI software. It's a cross-industry collective, so we're looking for end users that are using the software or interested in using the software to come to a place where we can have an ecosystem or a community of people sharing ideas. We have a thing that we call value packages. So, for instance, we had a company that built a management of change in Ignition. So they built their management of change process in Ignition, and they packaged that up and gave it to the collective, which was probably thousands of man hours to build that thing. But once it was built, they felt like, hey, this is something we can contribute to the community. So they gave that away. We have, I think, 6 different value packages that range from probably $100,000 to $10,000 and everywhere in between of things that people have built and paid for that have packaged up. When I say packaged up, they give it to the collective, and then Inductive and our board members work together to make sure it's documented, make sure it's very easy to implement, and kind of give like a simple step-by-step process on how you would use it. And then we give it to the collective.
Wow, that's a very interesting spin on and a very creative approach to solving some common problems across the industry.
Well, our goal was we don't want to ask somebody to come, spend time and money to get to our meeting and not have some value. So the goal was how can we ask somebody to come but change the narrative when they go to their boss and say, hey, I want to go to this meeting. Because if you go and say, hey, I want to go network with some other Ignition people, that's good, but there's not a lot of value there for maybe their boss or CIO. But if you say, hey, I'm going to go to this meeting and I'm going to bring back $100,000 or $20,000 tool that we don't have to buy, that we're just going to get to use, well, now the narrative is a little bit different. Now it's a little easier to get people to come and join and be a part of something that is really impactful.
Correct. It's not only increasing the perceived value, but actually increasing the real value of attending. So just summing up, where do you hope the relationship with ARC goes in the future?
I'm really excited about not just the relationship between the board and ARC, but I'm really excited about the relationship that the end users are going to have an opportunity, people that potentially from for instance, we have a very small wastewater company who got to become and be a speaker. That would not have happened without the partnership between the collective and ARC. They would have never come to the conference, but then 2, to be able to be put on a platform and give their voice, something that they actually could say, hey, these are the things that we're doing, and people were interested in it. It kind of raised everyone's level of interest in, hey, this thing could be really special because we're not just giving people that typically wouldn't have an opportunity, but we're also combining the level of impact that ARC has, and then the people that they typically wouldn't reach, we're now making a bridge between that. So it's very exciting to see where it's going to go, and also I think that I think that if we can continue to draw people in, because one of our things that we want to do in the collective is give the people that don't have a voice. And what I mean by that is, for instance, we're a pretty decent sized oil and gas company, is who I work for. we live in California. So 3 times a year, my company gets to go to Folsom and sit with the senior developers of Inductive to make ignition fit for purpose for my company. A guy in Virginia who works at a small wastewater plant doesn't get an opportunity to ever get his voice heard with ignition or with ARC to be able to feel like they have a voice. Once the collective becomes a single voice, well, now as a collective, we get to go to ARC and say, hey, we really would like to see this kind of a track or this kind of a narrative within ARC. Well, as the collective grows and that voice gets bigger, well, now people who didn't have a voice will have a voice. Same thing with inductive automation. We have people now that can come in and talk to people that have that relationship with inductive, and their voice can now be heard, right? And so it's just an empowerment of a community that is working together to really raise the level of everyone is what we're hoping.
That's superb. Seeing users large and small contribute their needs, and then I see how you're facilitating consensus across all of those in order to get products out there to the market through your collective at an even at a very economical rate. Do you have any last parting words?
No, just really thank you. I think that it's been a great experience for me. It's been a great experience for my career. Being able to meet different people and have the opportunity to make some of these connections has been really great. So that's all I have.
Great. Well, thanks, Alan. Again, our guest today was Alan Ray, chairman of the Ignition Cross Industry Collective, and we're here at the ARC Annual Forum 2020. So thank you, everyone, for listening.